and they go for the troll
Go
at
with
the
the
end.
troll. I mean, you go with the troll. You didn't ban Terrorblade. You go for the troll. And now there's an option for you to get that Magnus as well.
I was going to say, it is without the Magnus, so I wonder if they... I mean, surely...
It's like, banned.
Surely you want the Magnus with it. I guess you know that Liquid are very unlikely to pick the Magnus, so they probably are going to be able to have the opportunity to pick it up for OG. But then Liquid, if they see that troll, they can already start maybe preparing in their mind for ways of dealing with that Magnus again. They could absolutely still slot in a Winter Wyvern, for instance, into this draft.
They can. They opened out their position 5. Their position 5 is still not picked. Yeah. Liquid can definitely get the Wyvern if you go for a Magnus with the troll.
I guess obviously OG with the Ench opening and the Tiny, the Cold Embrace, you're still going to have pure damage, magical to kill people through it, but that's the thing. It's going to take a while to really be that effective, as you do assume that the Ench and probably the Tiny are the two supports rather than the cores here on OG. But we'll see. We'll see what Liquid do. Witch Doctor.
Alright, a hero that we haven't really seen in Europe played a lot, not even in CIS has it been played a lot, but in SEA, right?
Yeah, we saw it a couple times, but only in
SEA, yeah. And Witch Doctor is definitely alright, because basically what they did to Witch Doctor is they nerfed him completely, they made his Maledict 50 seconds cooldown, and then they reverted back to hang on,
that was
we
a little
bad. Do that, yeah. That was a mistake, let's revert it back, and let's make it even better. So Witch Doctor is definitely alright. He also used to be a counter to the Ench pick. So this is a draft like from Team Liquid, Doom and Witch Doctor. It's basically how you would completely destroy Enchantress in the laning stage. You have Doom on one side, he can devour the creep. You have Witch Doctor on the other with the cask. And
Darkseer, so no Magnus. No Magnus so far today, and with that Darkseer pick, very unlikely to see a Magnus fit in anywhere, so they're going to try the troll without the Magnus, and by decision. They feel that Liquid could deal with the Magnus that well, they don't want to go for it again. It's just interesting to see. Most other teams around the world would not pass up a chance to have the Magnus with the troll. But OG will. OG will. So Liquid, question is, do they want to still consider just taking the Terrorblade again? It is very good, it's perfect with the Witch Doctor 2. Metamorphosis and Maledict can be some very easy kills early on. But we'll see. I just feel it's going to be like, they don't have Magnus, but they're picking troll, so...
I mean, the hero is still alright. You can go for Battle Fury, why not? Like, it's an option. My question is, like, how do you respond as Liquid? Lifestealer. I mean, not really the perfect response to a troll, honestly. Is it? Like,
I guess we're sort of the build that Matty goes with the Radiant Solo Quest. It's quite nice. That at least it works. But as you say, it's not something that you would normally assume that the troll is going to have strengths against the Lifestealer.
And he does have strength, so overall that OG third pick troll is actually fantastic. Honestly, it's next level drafts from these two teams. I love it. Because you're denying them the opportunity to pick TB, right? It's not really great. And what's left? Jug? Like, Jug isn't great. You only slash the troll, he just pops his ulti as well and turns on you. And the Lifestealer, these heroes that are in the meta do not necessarily do very well versus troll, and they force them into a Lifestealer pick. Very well played so far by OG.
There's a Pugna ban. OG is going to have the last pick for, I'm assuming for Thompson, unless there's going to be some swaps there around. What type of mids do we need? Like...
They need a Thompson mid.
I mean,
that's about it. Just pick one of his heroes and let him do.
So what are the big ones left for him?
Well, there's Monkey, right?
Monkey is still there. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Can we even talk about Invoker? Is that still a thing? Invoker mid
against the Lifestealer, and it's hard in there.
I mean, overall, I'm just naming his heroes. That's all.
Thinking what Thompson likes to roll with.
Zeus, but there's a Lifestealer.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're looking at this Lifestealer.
Just in case they're thinking about picking.
Yeah. They want to just have all their options open.
That's it. Interesting to see both of these teams ignore the OD. You know, there's OD is there.
OD would actually be so good for Liquid as well. You use that Astral on Troll when he goes ham. You just wait for him to calm down and then you.
You know what could be really good for Liquid? What about the puck?
I mean, now that you talk about OD, puck makes more sense as well for Liquid as well. Puck would allow Lifestealer. Shadow. All right.
Okay, they're going to try this SF. We've seen very mixed results from this hero.
But there's a couple typical Shadow Fiend counters still in the pool, though. Like, you can pick TA.
Yeah, I think OG... Well, Topson TA is not something he really does.
I mean, surely he can play TA. Every mid player can play TA. That's should be able to...
It's done for very Topson,
Sure.
Not very Topson.
Not very Topson. A little too normal.
I think they're still going to go for for one of his heroes, and that's it.
Maybe he's Monkey King still.
No, Monkey is banned.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was. Yeah, we're blind. That's a Topson hero. That's a Topson.
This is definitely a Topson hero.
And that also is making that Pugna ban.
But if it is a Topson hero...
Yeah, it is. He plays
but I'm saying, if it is, you're picking a core Scarf against a Lifestealer.
You're picking a core Lifestealer versus a Shadow Fiend. The Lifestealer, you have Troll to deal with. So your little guy here, Troll, deals with the Lifestealer, while your Shadow deals with the SF. Yeah, deals with the SF. And Skyrat should crush SF on the lane. That's how it should happen, at least. It doesn't always necessarily happen.
But surely the SF's going to get some help mid.
SF is going to get help from the jungle camps. That's what he's going to get help from. Just run into the jungle, farm it, just forget about mid lane, and that's Skyrat. That's about it.
Who's going to take this one?
I mean, for me, I appreciate, as you say, Scarf's going to have strengths to the lane and such, but down the line, we're just going to see the Scarf, I'm sure, get like 2 shot by the Lifestealer. Like, I don't know if that's going to work out, so I've got to go with Liquid. I think OG might have Topsoned themselves out of this game with that pick. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
They
out-Topsoned themselves.
Yep. I mean, I agree with you to some extent, but for the sake of, I don't know, diversity and hope to see the third game, I'm going to go with OG. I just want to have full series. The first match has been so amazing. That's it.
You know, I can... Do we want to have Owen even further ahead in closing?
Just go with Owen.
No, I'm going for OG. I'm going for OG. I was thinking OG previously. I'm thinking OG still.
OD the prophet. He's gonna be so
I mean, as I say, maybe they do something crazy. They've gone for something a little bit more of the magical OG way. Topson Scarf, can he win a game against a safe lane Lifestealer? This Lifestealer late game is not going to give a damn. Matty's going to get Radiance, Manta or something, and...
He has to get that Manta, though.
He does have to get it. Maybe if they start and get the ball rolling really early on and Matty doesn't get his items, we are going to see him get insta-silence by the Ancient Seal and just die.
Look at that crown on his head. Overall, though, Lifestealer shouldn't have too many problems versus Jerax and Seb, especially if the Tiny is around. He just feasts on him. However, at the same time, 2 Iron Shells, Tiny with the 3, they definitely do damage you quite hard.
They do.
And one of those games as well where the dogs here, this for the vacuum, there's not really any follow-up. Avalanche, that's it, right? Vacuum into Avalanche.
Yeah, you don't really
there's no team fight other than the dogs here.
Yep. Yeah, stop ruining my prediction. They're gonna vacuum into Enchanted Creep, Typhoon, Tornado. They'll do something.
Yeah.
Skyrat, something. I don't know.
So the thing that sort of for me is working best for OG is the fact that Liquid have an SF, and this hero seems very hit or miss. We've seen so many times this hero get run over. So maybe that will happen this game, but we'll see. We'll see how well Liquid can run with the SF, and if indeed, as I predict, Matumbaman's going to have a pretty free game.
Matumbaman might have a free game, but that SF, he's going to need some help.
He could get punished.
Yeah, I think GH at the moment might need some help. Nah, he's okay. He's fine.
Monk Chomp, going to waltz in. Chomp on a creep.
Getting slowed down there.
They're going to have another slow in 5 seconds, but they're going to let him go.
Doesn't want to miss the creep wave under the tower. LTW chasing a kill that they might not get.
That's me wasting some regen for mind control.
We'll see how much pressure Seb can put on this top lane, especially if these lanes stay like this. We'll see if either side do want to try and switch things around if they're both content with the position of the lanes. As mind control, getting chased quite a lot. Does at the back of a GH around.
I don't think
GH punches hard right now.
Yeah, he does. But what? Why? He has plus 39 damage. All right, he does. I don't think you even want that creep camp if you're Enchantress. You don't want to enchant creeps. All right, he's gonna enchant one creep. But I mean, you have the Elder Titan to just benefit from the stacks, and you also have Doom that's always gonna devour. So.
Seb. It's just going to start cutting the creep wave, and I mean that's. I don't think Matty minds too much about this. He is going to be able to hold the lane,
unless Jerax just messes with him, because Jerax can be a hero that just moves to him and denies everything away from him, even under the tower. That tree always allows you to deny the first wave.
Bottom lane, RTW farming all right for now, 9 for 4. And of course, mind control. He has been sort of running around that area of the jungle, so him himself hasn't really started hitting the creeps as of yet. So,
are we expecting that Tiny to move bottom? Because right now they're 2 versus 1 top. Can they really slow down Matu? Is that really worth it?
No, he has 10 CS already, so far they haven't really been able. Mid.
You
can kill him.
Does he have enough? Oh no, the first one actually brought him with no-till killing GH, but mid lane is pretty explosive as well. And top.
Does Thompson actually have any regen as well? Because he was totally out of mana.
He was out of mana. He has mango.
Has a mango, but he needs to drop everything to stay.
Get the most out of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is not great for Thompson. You say this middle lane. If you see the first few waves going this way in CS, where the SF is not just even but slightly ahead.
Yeah, slightly ahead. This isn't something.
And now they're going to kill him. Rotation from Kuroki comes in. This mid lane it's already looking like a bit of an early disaster for the mid sky.
Yeah, this is a problem. When you do draft that Skyrat, you always expect him to win that lane. If he doesn't,
especially against the SF.
Yeah, but right now, that free region, he wanted that. It stops.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You're right. I think Miracle just got some regen shipped out to himself as well, at least.
Chance was taking a beating here.
Yeah,
GH has to be careful, actually.
Giving a creep as well.
The Whirling Axe is out.
GH died earlier as well.
Kuro is here.
Jerax is here as well.
Trying to send things around, and in fact getting on top of Kuro, looks like they should be able to. The storm will come out for GH, but does not save Kuro. Kuro will fall. GH getting back in there with the punches onto No-Tail. Not quite enough to finish him off. Mind control. Pops out another shockwave. 5 HP goes down to
HP, yeah.
And now, with him surviving, he can turn and try and get another right click. He's popped a mango. I believe he gets another enchant off, but another shockwave.
That was so close.
They will get him. Kill on mind control as well. The tips all around. That was pretty clutch for No-Tail, but he lives.
That shockwave's range is insane, by the way, so you have to be careful. Wherever you are, it can connect. Sadly, it did not for mind control.
Again on that mid lane, just sort of the little presence of Kuroki TPing in, just making sure Thompson has to walk away from another wave of creeps, slowing him down. Miracle's going to be able to head top, pick up a double damage rune.
Yeah, if that lane wasn't already tough for Thompson, it's going to get even more tough now.
It's a problem. Yeah. If you want to roll a core Skyrat, you need to win that lane. If you aren't winning that lane, you're not going to pressure it so much that the Miracle has to leave to the jungle, and then you can rotate around. That's the problem. If he's not rotating, like, you have to stay mid, and you won't have any impact after the laning stage because of it. Oh, he has sticks. Yeah, Thompson can't commit here.
Yeah, Miracle's trying to outplay him.
He's baiting him, yeah.
And again, let me show Thompson. He's done a bit of damage, but he's a lot of mana.
Here we go,
Jerax. He can toss him to the tower, perhaps.
It doesn't need to.
It doesn't need to. He can just toss him up and kill him.
A very, very important gank there. They need everything they can to sort of slow down this start that Miracle has.
He stole that top rune. Gonna take another one, so at least they get the top bounties. He committed a lot into region, though, bottle and arcane boots. That's gonna slow his whatever he opts to go for, possibly Dominator.
And that's getting the trap onto GH and Chant as well. They are going to move RTW away from that bottom lane to try and attempt to kill onto GH. GH has the back of a mind control, who can go in and give slam the blade down onto RTW if he gets a little too hairy. But
no RNG for him to net him there.
It's a lot of moving about from these supports.
I'm just looking to see if they can get in position to get the 6-minute rune smoke out for Kuro too. And Matu is getting space up top. That's Jax once again showing mid, making sure that Miracle is kept away from the wave so they can allow the chance for Topson to catch back up in farm. And he is even in CS. Now with those last few rotations over towards the
That's a
mid-alpha.
very interesting build, by the way. 3 in concussive shot and 3 in arcane vault on that Skyrat. That's a whole ton of damage that you can spam out basically, as you can see, and it's gonna hurt so much now with 3 null talismans. No silence though.
No silence. He is now, yeah, he's slightly ahead on net worth, so that kill made all the difference. Gotta be careful for GH.
You have to be careful if you're Miracle, by the way. You're on 50% HP. That's like 2 arcane bolts and a concussive shot.
And another worry there for OG is that Matumbaman gets his Midas 6 minutes in. This is a very quick Midas timing for him. The farm is going to be rolling in for the lifestealer this game.
Yeah, and we know what happens when he gets that early Midas. That's Radiance even faster.
You know what else is rolling in? Tiny on mid. Is rolling in, coming in.
Well, they're going to try and make a bit of a go on to Miracle, and with the toss back, they should have him. They've got the magical damage from Topson, and again, Jarex making big moves to the mid lane, making sure that Topson gets his game back on track, and Miracle's game is just knocked off course.
I mean, you need Topson. You need him to just go out of control.
Yeah.
It's not only that it's strategically beneficial to you, it's how the hero works. If you don't have a lot of farm early on Skyrat, you feel like a support, basically. After the laning stage, you do nothing.
Right? You can do the same amount as a support if you don't have that head start.
Yeah, if you don't have the items and the levels, definitely.
No. Battle of supports here near the Dire Shrine. And Jarex is moving back. Nobody dies.
Let's get the toss onto GH, getting the Avalanche 2, but not enough control relief to allow LTW to get in and do damage. With
I think he was just saving himself there. It's more about
him away.
I just tossing him away, that's all.
Yeah, you have him in this room.
Yeah, SF has been relegated to the jungle, sadly for him, as these 4 null talismans are done.
Yep.
You can't really, like, that's way too much damage. Oh, 5 actually, I'm sorry. And honestly, you know what? Like, this looks funny, but
that's
this
the way
is the
to
build.
play it.
Honestly,
it is the way to play when you play Sky.
Even when you're a support, that build can be so good for you.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, there's one ticking time bomb that is on the top lane. Batumman just farming away on his lifestealer. So is Seb on his Darkseer. Maybe a little bit more scary for the on the lifestealer though. Gets that Midas early on and just having the entire lane to himself. Oh, Topson. Are they hunting for him? Or are they just in the jungle? They're just in the jungle.
They're just focusing.
Is he gonna go for 6 null talismans? He doesn't look that
I don't think so. I don't know about the 6 nulls.
But you know what they say, if you go 5, you have to go 6, man, come on. Like, if he buys boots, he's actually betraying the one true item.
That's true. We'll ruin the feng shui of his inventory. There's a Miracle. Now moving up towards top. No Tail and Topson actually coming up here as well to see if they can ever go on to Matumbaman. Not really a kill that they can take for, and
was that Dominator or was that Enchantress? I didn't see. Does he have Dominator even?
I don't think he does yet.
He doesn't.
No, he's going. He's got the Greaves.
He's not even going for Dominator,
They'll find GH, will he? He's going to go for the Stomp, can get himself back towards the Shrine, and now they're going to look to try and turn this one liquid. They're bringing in the backup. Jarex goes in the front lines, tosses back the creep. Seb surging away. Matu's trying to see if he can get his hands on any of the targets. He's trying to find Notel, has the open wounds. Miracle actually getting beaten down here as he backs off, pops stick charges, turns with the raises. He's still alive for now. Jarex is there though with the toss, and Miracle's dead. They'll get the SF, and they won't lose anybody themselves, OG.
What a messy fight, though.
Very messy. I actually expected them to have to go back. It's a Shrine fight. Nyx is rotating in from top lane.
Nyx? No. Matumbaman was like, well, what are you all doing here, top? I'm farming bottom now.
Yeah, he just went out.
He just left. He was like, don't have any of this people shit.
What?
He just wants to hit creeps.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I mean, do you imagine he will still go for the phase radiance, or does he want to get like an armlet this game so he can just run at heroes like the Sky?
I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but I think he needs that Manta as well. That's the thing. And if he's going Radiance, he can get that Manta.
Yeah, it's so similar. It's going the same build as we saw earlier.
I mean, it's good. It's alright. The same way it works versus PA, it can work versus Troll. As long as you're ahead. If you're behind, that item build is so trashy, it feels off. It feels like your timing isn't it, and then instantly it doesn't feel nearly as strong.
So 2 games in a row now, OG doing good on the lanes. And Liquid left to lay the game. Ooh.
I got the Stomp Off and the Doom as Thompson's caught on the front lines. He's out. And Seb, I don't know if he can get away from this one.
Yes, back up.
He does have No Tail and RTW around, and maybe with them here they can try and turn something. Miracle comes through with the raises. Seb getting bursted low. He's surging away. Will get out. Seb will survive. They'll actually get a bigger kill. They get RTW. Kura's able to get on top of him, and that is a dead troll.
You lost LTW. You also lost the Skyrat in that fight.
Yeah.
That's really bad for you. This is the weak point of Skyrat. If he has no one in front of him, he just dies.
Yeah.
As you said, that Lifestealer pops rage, and you're done. There's nothing you can do about it. You need some force staffs or something. You need some mobility.
Well, back to being even then. Jinxed them.
I think an even game is definitely a favourite game for Liquid with this Lifestealer Matuma farming the way he is. And that, as we keep saying, OG were relying on the Skyra to have a dominant start to the game. And that has not been the case. I'm sure he's still level with the net worth of the SF, but it's a game where this core Sky is in a match against a core Lifestealer, and the Sky's effectiveness is going to fall off.
Of course, once those BKBs are up, perhaps the SF and maybe this Doom, because I don't see Lifestealer buying it. You're gonna fall off even harder, and you won't be able to actually influence these fights in any significant way. You're gonna be able to blow up these supports, but that's about it. He does have 5-0 talismans though. I have to respect the talismans.
I mean, it's the correct build.
Like look at the damage, even on a tanky Doom, like that's half of his pull just gone. And that's about it that he can do.
Matsu being super smart with the areas that he's finding to farm it. As he's 2,500 into the relic, he's certainly on track to hit top tier Midas Radiance timing this game once again. The wraparound is there. They will find mind control. OG move over as a unit. 4-5 of them actually around this middle lane.
This is the time for them to strike. You can't wait for Nike's Radiance, obviously. You know that he has no items whatsoever. He has a Midas and that's it. If you wait for that Radiance, it's definitely strategically not the right option. So just go and take those towers while you still can, because they're going to be the ones that are be looking for a fight after that Radi is up.
Yeah, take these objectives whilst you know you're always going to have a numbers advantage. And see how much they want to try and push for more.
Wow, is this a high ground push? Alright,
like it, yeah.
They're definitely taking my advice to heart. This is...
They don't really have the strongest push lineup though. I mean, they got the Troll, but the Troll kind of likes it when there's nobody else around.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot either. And pushing high ground is very difficult versus ET, Witch Doctor. They have all the vision that's necessary to start the fight properly. So yeah, I'm happy that they backed off.
Yeah.
But you have to see though, like even the Darkseer went for Greaves, so they literally all went into this mid-game potential, right? You have the Troll that's super strong, he didn't go Battle Fury. You have the Skyrat, whatever he goes, this is his peak timing, right? And then you have the Greaves on Darkseer instead of something like Dominator or Midas. So this is basically where they have to break the game in their favor. They aren't truly doing it though, and because of that it does look a little bit scary.
I mean, can they after that fight in the Dire Jungle? I feel like...
I mean, they can, with a good pick-off, like the one on Doom, they definitely do have what it takes. Doom also went for Midas, remember?
Yeah.
So Liquid are definitely... They're gearing up for late game, but right now there isn't a whole lot they can do. Maybe with a proper fight in which they have vision advantage, or when OG is doing something very aggressive, like this rush. Are they even fighting this? Do they even want to commit? They have ET to delay it.
I mean, it might be just that. You know, just sort of trying to slow it down a little bit because, yeah, Liquid, you know, their strengths, not now. They're still gearing up towards later. They'll try the us, but let's see if they get lucky in terms of maybe finding the kill on it, but it won't be the case as OG get Roshan and get the Aegis for ILTW. Now moving into the jungle, they've found Kuroki. Kuroki should force the nukes here off the Skyraf with those 5-0 tallies. He is out of it, and GH as well, also being chased. Jerax, ILTW, and Notel hot on top of it.
This is all space. Even now when you get him. It's a great kill, sure. It's not the kill that you need. Matumba, he got that relic.
And he's taking the tier 2 tower too.
Oh, can they take him down? Nice.
Rage TP, nothing to do with that.
Maybe if Thompson had silence there, then he can't rage out. Oh, what? What are these creeps over here?
Nice stack.
Yeah, nice
Juicy stack for mind control. He'll take it. Easy.
Yeah. What is this
Shadow Blade.
for?
It's got Shadow Blade
He has
complete.
Shadow Blades.
Yeah.
All right.
Complete. And a double damage rune in his pocket.
Shadow Blade definitely a very aggressive item. I actually expected an early BKB. Oh, he's going Kayayasha.
Yeah, Kayayasha.
Alright, so this is one of those builds that's supposed to take them off guard, like to just use Shadow Blade ulti on someone, perhaps Thompson, the best target possible, he instantly dies.
Yeah, if he gets the Shadow Blade hit in a couple of races, the Scarf's just going to fall over.
Good words from OG though, and the blink on Tiny. They're gonna go for this tier 2 afterwards.
I think they have the Aegis, they've got to try and force as much as they can with this.
Skyrat is going for Axe, so no Talisman is into Axe. The only problem with this build is he has no mana regen whatsoever, so he's basically, I go in a fight, I do everything that I can, and I have to go base basically, or someone clarities me, there's nothing.
Well, he is carrying clarities almost all the time.
Alright, so that's the plan. Smart boy, TI winner right there.
Yeah. He's got some Greaves on the side of the Darkseer as well. That'll help out a little bit. Pushes on. Looks like Liquid is gathering up as well, though.
I mean, they have the Radiance now on the Lifestealer, so...
Yeah, they're on their way. They're looking to cut them off.
See what angle they can get him with the smoke. Kuro leading this charge. Zoji. They are spread out in an attempt to sort of catch any sort of smoke movement. As now, one another will find them. GH tries to head in from the front lines, but already they're going straight on top of him. He does get the stomp out, getting the steep onto the two of them. Thompson, he's been found though. The Shadow Blade from SF, catching Thompson off guard as Thompson is taken down. The Doom is out as well as the cast bounces between the two, and Thompson's buying back, but the rest of OG is just falling bit by bit. ILTW's popping the ult, will survive for a little bit, but now he's gone. The Aegis will give him a second chance, but the rest of OG fall. The timing there, actually a little bit off with the ult, but it doesn't seem to matter as ILTW has no help around him, and this is what Liquid were building towards. This timing, they have the Radiance, and this is where their game begins. He's brought back.
He just died back.
He just dies.
And this game is looking rough. This is, as you say, you could feel this building up for the whole of the beginning of this game. Sure, net worth was even, OG were getting some objectives, but their draft, their lineup, it needed to do much more than it did. It didn't, and now the game has the potential to fall apart very quickly for OG.
GH brought back for this as well. He's ready to barrel down mid. I mean, at this point, OG missed their timing. They missed their window. They needed Thompson to do better in mid earlier on. They needed the lanes to go better, and as you said, it was even, but it shouldn't have been for them.
Yeah, they wanted much more from that start, OG, and now the game becomes very, very difficult for them. Mid lane set, stays forward, cast out as well as the Maledict. Mataman's going to look to try and chase a bit with the rage, but Sep puts the mech and will back up. Liquid respecting this, start a retreat. They do the vacuum on to 3. Already with the infest, Matu's going to hide himself deep inside the warm body of mind control. As he'll be fine, nice and cozy. Lots of space in there, you know, Doom's pretty big.
The body and soul.
As As at this point, OG, I mean, their best play really is they've got to catch them out one by one. If they can maybe make a smoke play, find the lifestealer with this ancient seal, silence, and blow him up. But it really is. The difficulty for this, to win this game for OG has just stepped up tenfold now.
Radiant are scanning.
Their lineup does not play well from behind.
But what you can do, honestly, it's very problematic.
Yeah. I think what we said earlier that, you know, this Skywrath mage at this point does almost the same as a support Skywrath.
Yeah,
that's where we've landed right now.
That's it. I mean, you go for this super greedy build, no talismans into Aghanim's. I mean, honestly, someone is gonna get to you, and then you're just a pigeon. You're gonna fall. I mean, you aren't gonna do anything. Aggressively, it's great, but there's a reason why people buy 4-stats BKBs. It's like
Shadowfiend can get to you every time with the Shadowblade.
Yeah, if he gets on top of you, you're done.
Lifestealer can just run at you with this range. And does Doom have a blink?
Just kill him, lol.
Sure. Just kill him. Oh, almost.
Oh yeah, now with the Manta style.
Alright, so what do you do? If you are OG, first and foremost you need some force.
You gotta just smoke.
You need some forces. Your vacuum wall is really good versus Nyx because you're gonna have a radiance of your own, right? You're tiny, I guess you can jump, blow up SF or Witch Doctor with the Skywrath, so you have some combos. And your troll eventually is a troll that is a good hero versus Nyx, so you have that going for you. You just have to get those items. You have to get those items that you're building for. But honestly, Skywrath is going for Axe. I don't see how much that's going to help them. That's a problem. He might just
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He needed one more hit. Yeah. So it's good for. I mean, top. I got you. I'm still gonna lose, but. I mean, he read that perfectly. He ported out before he got any of the creeps, so he knew what was going on.
Radiant's top tower.
At this point, I kind of feel like ILTW again, just like last game, he is the only true carry, and there's again a lot of pressure onto him doing well.
But he's far behind.
He's not even as far ahead as he was last game, so he's not even ahead at all.
Last game he had pressure mounting on him, but he was also doing really well in the laning stage. This game, they didn't really help him out too much. Jerix was ganking mid, and yeah, you got Miracle a couple of times, but he went into the jungle, recovered, has this sick build that I'm gonna see in my pubs every single time now on SFs. And
I mean, to be fair, I'd rather see this build in my pubs than the Greaves build.
really?
Yeah. You like the Greaves build?
I mean, it depends what MMR range you're playing in.
Sure.
If you're playing in like
if you're a MMR, you know, Greaves SF,
it's not really great.
But if you've got coordination,
if you've got some coordination,
then it's.
I mean, you don't have coordination anywhere, to be honest.
So any level of pubs, they're all terrible. But no, I mean, obviously for the pros, there's a reason why they go for the Greaves a lot.
In pro games, yes. In pub games, no one is going to buy these sentries. You're going to buy Shadowblade and just continue killing everyone across the map. So it's good. It's very annoying, but it's good. Now we have AC. Soon to be completed on Matu.
Yeah, CC's just looking absolutely terrifying. I mean,
actually, Elder Titan is building into a BKB as well, so another target that Killer Pigeon, Skywrath is gonna...
I guess he is the Killer Pigeon,
yeah? He is the Killer Pigeon. He's not gonna be able to do anything to him either.
He's more like a diseased pigeon this game. I mean, he's not doing much.
Yeah, pretty much. He poops around, but doesn't really contribute too much.
Occasionally can't control his anus and just... It's a tough one for Thompson.
He knows how to back to the fountain. He can go back home.
He does. He does.
Soon he's gonna have that evidence and he's gonna prove us all wrong.
Enchantress.
Oh, he's a dead one. Matu's on top of him. Oh, quick chomp on the Bambi. They do get the vacuum wall down onto 2, and that will allow them to kill the 2 supports.
Yeah. That's a nice one. Number 2, man. He has still got his range.
He's hard to catch though. Oh, Mighty Major's turn. They get the Doom down onto ILTW. Matu's in. ILTW's gone.
Thompson, it's all you.
Let's go, Thompson.
There we go.
Get
no. Oh, baby. He gets out.
He gets
the
out.
pigeon takes flight.
They basically won. Got him.
I mean, this is that part of the game in which BKBs are up. You're building one. You have one on Doom. You're holding one on Elder Titan. Jerax. Who's gonna get the bout? No.
He might still be dead. That's the raises.
He has blinking through.
He's not blinking anywhere with that iron on it.
Oh, Jukes, eat the tree. Take the tree.
No, he can't.
Almost.
Oh, he tried.
Almost
And he
made it
got
out.
the rune.
Yeah, he did.
So there's that.
And he wasted some of their time. They didn't push.
Fear my presence. Rock'em song. This is a great addition.
What's he building? Like two Sage's masks? Is he going for Necros or something? Why does he have two Sage's masks?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
So he can hide the tears. Yes.
Behind the mask.
Yeah.
Masks.
Even with the rage, he's not even raging it, and they can't do it. They can't even tickle him.
This lifesteal is just out of control.
He's an absolute beast.
Yum, yum, yum. Oh.
He has Manta to work with, so he's not
Venison is
raging.
really good.
That's the thing.
Oh. And they go, ready to dive, or maybe not. The seal comes out of the tomb, and they get the vacuum back. Mystic Flare's going to be out, but already the BKB from Micro allowed to walk up. They can do the automatic. Can they kill that lifesteal? They can't. He's going to get inside, Kuro. The Witch Doctor is going to carry him out a little bit.
Doctor
Still
might fall as well.
chasing.
Yeah, but Lifestealer has a raging.
Oh, they got him! They killed the Lifestealer!
Did he mess up?
No, it's Aghanim's. He silenced him, and I guess it is, right? That's how it works. Or did he mess up?
They got it. He jumped out. He just got instant
He got
silence.
silenced.
Yeah, and they lost bike control as well.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Aghanim's. I told you.
Wow.
Don't question the Thompson build.
Thompson.
Specifically told you.
Just casually killing a lifestealer.
Look at that damage, honestly. Yeah, look at that damage. They really... I think, first and foremost, they played that fight really well, but Liquid, they let themselves go a little bit. They went like... They didn't enter that fight properly at all. Like, now he's just wasting his gold for Enchantress.
And now OG's got the Aegis.
Yeah, it still feels like delayed execution for me, though.
You
Also,
have cheese on the Skyrat mate now as well.
they do.
Need to stop calling him Pigeon.
Pigeon. More like an eagle.
A soaring eagle.
Well, I would say Falcon for now.
I'd say albatross.
Albatross.
You know, it's the biggest bird,
They
right?
called the albatross a few times.
I did.
Bad luck. Right?
Is albatross the biggest bird in the world?
No, isn't that a sea buzzard type of thing?
It's just very big, yeah.
It's a very big
has a
bird.
very
It
big
is a massive bird.
wingspan. I think it has only one mate in its life or something like that as well.
Oh, it doesn't just breed around.
Yeah, I think so. There's one bird that always has one mate.
That's a swan.
No, not swan.
Swan also does. Swan
Swan also perhaps, yeah, but this one bird, they just fly around the world and then they meet up somewhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is.
They're a romantic bird.
Then they go on their own way
Yeah.
again. It's truly romantic, actually.
Yeah. They taste really nice too. Actually, I don't know if you can eat albatross. Probably not.
You can do whatever you want, man.
The largest bird is an ostrich.
Ostriches.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's an ostrich.
And after
This flying
that,
one.
But that's in terms. Well, that's large because it's tall, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are
What
we
about these-
defining large?
The wingspan.
The
What has the wingspan?
I mean, that's albatross.
but apparently
then. Wingspan
domestic
albatross,
wild
right?
turkey is still bigger than thing. And the great bustard is 12. I don't know
Buzzard?
why. No,
Buzzard?
it says
Buzzard?
bustard.
What did you call me?
What did you call
The Great Busted. All right, so wait, Thompson the Busted.
The albatross, the wandering albatross, is 15th
The albatross is 15th in what, in size?
in size. Largest living birds.
Ostrich, Somali ostrich, southern cassowary.
Cassowary is like
What's a
an ostrich.
cassowary?
It looks like an ostrich.
Oh.
Look, it's these.
Oh, yeah. It's
that's pretty sick.
That doesn't fly, does it?
No, it doesn't
No, I don't
fly.
know,
But
does that-
they can run like crazy fast.
A cassowary.
And they furry. It looks like it's furry anyway.
Oh, they got him! Or maybe not. BKB,
BKB.
scorched up, runs away. Matuma Man, he's in there on the front lines, going straight for No-Tail, pops the rage. No-Tail's got the nation's attendance and it'll keep him alive. Matu's starting to back off, will get rooted, he'll get himself inside the Hellbear Smasher. He's smashing. And he will be able to disengage.
That was scary though, and that's another BKB timer lower.
Honestly, this is looking better and better for OG.
Yes, they're striking back despite being, as I say, they're in a difficult position.
There's a smoke.
They are in a-
There is a
yeah.
smoke from Liquid. They're taking this game more seriously from now on. They don't want to take any chances, but they are smoking into Aegis.
Oh,
And they're smoking into Seb.
and they've got him.
Yeah.
No wasting around. They'll pop the Doom down. Guaranteed kill on Seb.
There's a double damage on the bottom lane.
Yeah, well,
can
the
let
troll's
Troll take
coming
it.
to take it, yeah.
And he's only got the BKB RTW, so
Troll,
the
did he
BKB can
just
get him.
teleport to get there though?
I think you wait for the BKB anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to get him before
Kitani
BKB.
gives you bottle that BKB, you save it up, you bottle that double damage, and you save it up for when you have BKB. If you could bottle a BKB, no, that would be a nice rune.
Bottle of BKB.
Yeah, a rune of, like, a rune that gives you,
Don't
like,
give them
magic
any
ability.
ideas. You know what they're like. They like adding the broken things. And Miracle, he's got a gun.
Has fallen.
He's got that E-blade ready to shoot some fools. Blast them with the magical power of ethereality.
Jarex. He has got a 4-staff available in case he gets jumped. Oh, he's the one jumping people though.
Matty's got the rage. He's going to turn straight towards Jack. See if he can finish off that Tiny with the storm out from JH. They'll certainly find him. No Tail getting nuked by the E-blade. Maledi's upon him with the infest magical damage. They'll burst him. There's the second one dead for the side of OG. Silence comes out to the two of them. RTW trying his best to fight with the DD and with the BKB. His ultimate to man, but man stars himself out of the route. They're still chasing here with the troll. Uspin is going to come out. In fact, RTW, he's in trouble. They'll turn with the razors. He's gone. They'll pop the Aegis. So they can set up for another. The vacuum wall comes down onto the two of them. The Witch Doctor is out. Kurro's
No
dead.
BKBs. They need to run.
Yeah, they need to chase.
Oh, nice.
Nice surge
The
coming
RTW can
out.
still find Miracle.
Youth slows them down. Isn't it enough? There's going to be another surge soon.
Nah,
But
they're
then-
going to chase. That was a really good stomp.
all started because Jarex tossed last.
Yeah, that Jarex toss, he was
He
apologized.
said sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said sorry.
Whoops,
That
yes.
definitely wasn't the play, especially because you had. I think
mean,
Darkseer
Pep was
was
still
dead.
dead.
Yeah, Darkseer was dead.
Oh, they saw Miracle in it.
Yeah, vacuum interrupts.
He's dead.
He's gone. Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Big catch there for OG.
No buyback, 80 seconds. Can they do something?
It's still hard. I mean, but OG, I mean, this is sort of classic. This is sort of the TI magic from OG. The game where they're behind, they have a lineup that shouldn't work. They're somehow making things happen. Sure, they haven't quite made the comeback, but they're throwing Liquid off guard. They're getting these pickoffs, and they're
have
making
the
Liquid
smoke
have
now
to
as
step
well.
up their game.
Perhaps with this smoke they can make something happen. Let's see, who are they gonna find around here? There's a Nyx. No, they're all hiding. They shouldn't be able to kill anyone.
Here we go. Looking at the mid lane. Where can OG go for the play? They know, Liquid, they're playing it safe. Frost Miracle's dead. They're all on the high ground.
They're just hiding.
Yeah, not wanting to make any misplays whilst they're only 4 against the 5 of OG. There's Matsu. They're starting to head out with mind control. They found themselves a ball. And the Frost Mago. There's a search forward on RTW.
They have Lincolns on him
Yeah.
as well, which is really helpful versus the Doom.
Yeah.
Versus everything, actually.
Oh, Matsu. It's going to look towards Sep. They get a Doom down. With the rage pod, they're going to try and chase for him. Does get forced back. And they still have the damage to get him off. They got the nuke damage with the E-blade to blow the Enchantress, and that's going to be Sep gone as well. RW trying to turn and fight with the ult, but there's 2 dead on OG. No one left to save RTW. That is 3 dead without buyback. Jax gets a blink out in time.
You have no buybacks though.
And bottom lane is pushing in.
Yeah, you instantly just go bottom if you're Liquid. It's a problem if your biggest utility, that's Darkseer, if he gets domed. I think that's the biggest issue for you.
Yeah.
If Troll gets doomed, you can surge him. If Darkseer dies, you can't do anything. You don't have Crimson, you don't have control in that vacuum wall. You basically have no team fight whatsoever once Darkseer is dead.
And this is going to be some painful structural damage against OG as Liquid take the full set bottom, moving towards the mid. All tier 2s are gone. They may even just be able to go for the Megas
They
here.
can go for Megas here, yeah. You have 20 seconds until Ench is up. 25 for Darkseer. definitely can.
And as we saw in OG, they had some nice plays from behind, but at the end of the day, this is Liquid getting the game back on track the way it looked to play out with their draft and optimization. Thompson gets bursted. Will buy back, and they will have the 5-man back up, but 2 sets of racks down. The 3rd rack's beginning to fall as well.
They need to start the fight right now. They're all up. They have to fight.
Let's see what they can do. And BKB being popped by mind control. Matumberman just going straight in towards Thompson. Thompson gets surged back by Seb. RTW on the front. Ancient Seals out to Kuroki. Ball's going to be dropped down. They're looking at Matumberman with the stomp from GH. Holds back the 3 of them. GH now heading in with the BKB, ready to punch the Earth Splitters out onto all 3. RTW is trying to hold it with the ult, but that's a dead Thompson, a dead Nota. He does manage to kill off Matumberman though. RTW, he's getting the kills. Mind control's gone as well. They found 2. Surge fall from Seb. They're on top of Miracle. Trying to get the ult out. Will find it, but the Iron Shell's ticking him down. Seb keeping on top of him. Miracle has got the movement speed though with the Yule Scepter hiding in the trees. They're searching for him and they will find him with the vacuum. So OG do kill off 3 of Liquid. Some, I believe the range racks still alive on this top lane.
They still aren't playing versus Megas, which is kind of alright for them. It would be very good if Rush would respawn anytime now for OG, because then they would have a chance.
Takes a while still. 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. It's very unfortunate Rush respawn for them, because they wasted all their buybacks, and Liquid, Liquid, they still have them. And now in the next Rush fight, what's going to happen is Liquid is just going to throw their bodies at them, and then just buyback.
I like this. What's his Mask of Madness, GH, ready to punch people.
He has BKB, and that's what matters, right? And then you get that talent for the Spirit. You hit so hard in these fights, especially these heroes such as Ench and Skyrat. They have no armor, and you run in with your big briefcase. It's pretty good. Another Mask of Madness actually just picked up, wasn't it?
I was going to say, I don't think he meant to build that.
Yeah,
he's trying to get MKB.
MKB actually now. Right? For the Radiance. Yeah, for the Radiance. Makes sense.
I mean, we saw that last fight. LTW did do a lot. Like, he does hurt if he can get on top and get the stacks built up. But the question is if it's just a little too late, as the amount of damage OG's taken to the base is pretty significant. Yeah. And Matu's still just reigning supreme this game on his life stealer. 10k ahead of the farm of ILTW.
They're delaying the game, OG is, but for what, really?
Can they really swing it around?
For what?
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough one. They do look like they want to fight right now. They have teleport to Shrine. They look like they're gonna smoke.
It's around this Roche time, so it would be the time that...
Did they smoke up? No?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
No. You need to ward around the rush pit and take a favorable fight right now. If you manage to, you might just sneak that rush, but it's so difficult. You're playing versus a team that has 4 buybacks. Well, not everyone, SF doesn't. But your Doom and the Nikes do. Oh, they're the ones that smoke. It's so much easier for Liquid to take rush as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to deal with that other Titan Spirit. Well, if you are OG, you sneak into the pit, the Titan just sends that Spirit spells out, you're done.
I mean, as we said at the start, OG, they don't really have a team fight. It's Darkseer alone.
Darkseer and what? Like,
Avalanche, that's it.
Ball, and then you have Aghanim's with the double ult from Thompson.
Oh, does he have any ways to save him? Needs Jarek to buy it.
There's a lot around, and then Thompson's going to be fine. Now they're going to try and turn. BKB's popped by mind control as he backs away. RTW trying to commit with his own BKB. Mind control gets the blink off. RTW is on top of Matumberman. He's getting the stacks built up with the E-Blade, and Raises just burst down on RTW. Getting outplayed there by Miracle. Low buyback indeed. No tail. Sent up in the air. One more Raise should finish him off. Miracle picks up the double kill. Stomp sets up for more from GH as Matumberman's diving into the base. He's got his eyes on the course. Won't get quite close enough to Thompson before the rage falls off. He'll turn back towards the easy objective of the range racks.
That's Megas.
That's game.
And that is 2 dead without buyback. The toss back onto Seb to keep him in the fountain. Can they really hold 3 versus 5?
It's very hard.
It's impossible.
As Liquid taking tier 4s. They get the silence. They get a 3-man vacuum wall. as you know, well, just a vacuum. Even if a wall was there, wouldn't really do too much at this point as Matu rages, just pressuring OG back into the fountain, making the space for Liquid to hit onto the Ancient, as OG haven't quite tapped out, but they certainly will do shortly, as we'll use the fortification. There's no trial for 20 seconds. Doom comes out. Thompson is dead. No buyback for him. GG is called. And Liquid will take the series 2-0.
2-0. And that means Liquid is starting in the upper bracket of the playoffs. Doesn't necessarily mean that OG isn't, though, because OG will be just dropped down to the lower bracket and has a chance to still face